Okay, so I just saw this article on van life in Australia, and I thought I'd share it because it's just not me doing it. It's an external source. Here you can see that it's from Nine News website, and it says van life: the Aussies breaking the mold to live in tiny mobile homes. Um, and so here it says, I'll just read a little bit of it for you. So in Brisbane, hairdresser Charlie Charters found herself trapped in the endless cycle many mums face. She knew she had to do something drastic. Being a single mum, you clean the house, you pay the bills. I was renting this beautiful duplex, but I just felt so trapped. Miss Charters was stressed out working such long hours and had little time or energy left for her son. So that's her there. And she says, I was working 40 hours a week plus commuting. I wasn't having any fun because I didn't have any money left over. I wasn't spending as much time with my son as I would like. And here we go. I wanted to build a relationship with my boy while he was still small. I wanted to save, to have a nest egg for the future, and I also wanted to live life now instead of always putting it on hold. The idea of buying a van and living in it with her 5-year-old son Oliver began to germinate, take hold, and would eventually prove too alluring to resist. There's another picture of her there. Um, While the trend is believed to have started in 2014 by savvy millennials producing envy-inducing feeds on Instagram, it's fast expanding to induce devotees from all walks of life. Now, in the United States, it kind of started in 2008 with the global financial crisis and people losing their homes and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if that 2014 is just Australia or just when people started doing it on Instagram, but people, I think, started doing it from around 2008, at least in the United States. When I found van life, I fell in love with it, Miss Charters said. So she said, I watched every documentary, every video I could find on it. I have always been interested in minimalism and sustainable living, and I just knew that it was something I could do. So gradually, Miss Charters sold off almost all her possessions. She ended the lease on her duplex and bought a Mercedes Sprinter from some backpackers. So I've got a Mercedes Sprinter, but I think she's got the extended version. But that's a picture of her and her son, her and her son again. For the next 4.5 months, she worked around the clock on top of her full-time job, stripping out the van and refitting it, the inside from scratch. The determined mum had never used a power tool before, and YouTube tutorials became her best friend. I was so nervous, especially when I used a circular saw for the first time, she said. I was like, I'm going to lose fingers, but you very quickly learn. By the end of it, I was super quick. I surprised myself with what I was capable of. I think I pushed myself to my mental and physical limits. So she's actually got a nicer build than what I have. Um, but she doesn't have the two sliding doors either. So I couldn't really have cabinets on the side of mine. Um, Apart from the wiring, which her father helped her with, Miss Charters did all of the refit on the van by herself. Um, so she has a composting toilet, a double bed, a kitchenette, and a full-size sink. It's not perfect, but I'm really happy with it, how it turned out, Miss Charters said. So unlike many van lifers who often work remotely and use their mobile home to travel around Australia, Miss Charters plans to stay in the same location for the foreseeable future so she can continue working on the job she loves and to provide some stability for her son. It's a bit controversial when I tell everyone that me and my son live in a van, but it meets a lot of our needs, she said. I don't think there is a negative. I love it. So that's an example of a single mom living with her son. So there's her again. Um, Here's another example of a couple living in a bus, although it says that they don't plan to do it full time. They did it so that they could afford to save up for a deposit for a house. So there's a couple living in a bus. There's the bus there. Quite a nice fit out they have. But that's just an example on van life. It is becoming more and more popular all around the world. And there's a Nine News, like a major news network in Australia, publishing an article. So I just hope you enjoyed this example of I guess the van life and I guess tiny home minimalism, sustainable living type revolution that is starting to occur and pick up speed. Alright, if you liked the video, obviously like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. If you do subscribe, remember to click the bell button beside the subscribe button so you get notified when I publish new videos. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.